What's going on, folks? Painless. Lots been going on with number 47, President Donald Trump. Y'all see the title. I've said this so many times, man, along the years, and many of y'all know my position about black and brown. Non-existent. And I've also said, see, let me tell you something. I've said that I do not play with other minorities, quote unquote, the term, people who aren't white but who aren't black, Hispanics, Asians, Pacific Islanders, who think that they can come through and stunt and put on a show and flodge at the expense of me to get a pat on the head from Caucasians. I do not play with that. See, a lot of black folk, I grew up going to school with all black folks, a good portion. I've gone to school with majority of white folks. So I have different observations. I have different experiences with this race stuff. You got a lot of black people. I know where I'm from in Alabama. You got to go certain places to see white folks. Like, you got black folks that absolutely have nothing to do or rarely deal with white people. Black folks who rarely deal with white people. Case in point, a lot of time, you see this in the city, and I've seen this in big cities, but even down south, you got the black funeral homes and you got the white funeral homes. It's always been like that. And I say all that to say because a lot of black folk they come through and they're not really aware of how other groups view us. See, I do. And a lot of older black baby boomers think that if it ain't white, it's all right. And that is so far from the case, I remember telling one of my older relatives, he said, hey, Panis, how come, I know this guy, I think he was a Guamanian guy. And he said, yeah, man, he don't really fool with us, but, he really be, every time I pass by, he be, really be in tune or with them white guys, but he don't really fool with us, me and this other guy, when and I said, precisely. That's how it goes. The same way y'all, and I told him this, I said, the same way a lot of us think the white man's ice is colder, what the hell you think they gonna think? You think they coming over here to unify? You think a Guamanian is going to come? And people don't know what Guam is. Guam is a territory of the United States, I want to say, but it's an island in the kind of the Pacific. It's in the Pacific. It's militarized. Like, they have an Air Force base in Guam. I want to say Anderson Air Force Base. Some of my Air Force vets may know. But yeah, it's Americanized, and, but they don't, and I said, them people don't come over here to unify with you. They want to go where the power is. And the power is in the Caucasians. Why the hell would they come over here and unify with our downtrodden asses off the strength of us being not white. And see, a lot of black folks need to understand it. A lot of black older folks don't understand that. But y'all need to come to grips. And which leads me to the title of this video. They can hold their own nuts. Straight up and down. They can hold their own nuts. I said this, hey man, y'all got to get it out the mud. This is something that black folks should just be quiet about. And what's so ironic, y'all remember that thumbnail where you had these sisters sitting up on, looked like they're on a high rise, and they overlooking the burning of whatever city. And they got their legs crossed, looking unbothered, sipping on tea, as if they don't give a good damn. Bullshit. See, it always, you had black women on here talking about, yeah, you voted for Trump, hey, when the police shoot you, we ain't gonna march for you no more. We ain't gonna do this. Whoop, 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 whoop. But here you have yet the certain group that just can't be quiet. Gotta always be in a mix, always putting a stamp on things, talking about these immigrants. You got teachers out here crying, talking about, oh, I ain't doing it. I don't care about Trump. I'm not going to adhere to his order. Okay, well, guess what? Get ready to lose your teacher credentials or certifications for disobeying a lawful order. And you got to think about why you're doing that. Stop putting on that burden, sisters. And it's becoming so apparent. And I know now everybody sees things for what they are. And I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. See, a lot of times the concerns and the type of grievances us as black men had concerning sisters and their inability to take direction used to fall on deaf ears. But now, everything's out in the open. Everybody knows now. Exhibit A, Michelle Obama. That shit she did, if people didn't see it then, if people didn't see it before then, oh, they see that shit now. When she didn't show up to the late President Jimmy Carter's funeral, when she did not show up to the inauguration of Donald Trump, oh, that, you know what, sisters? That set y'all asses, ooh, that set y'all back. That really damaged y'all. Y'all took y'all got your coins knocked out, with that. That really set y'all, and I say y'all, didn't say brothers, I said y'all. You should have saw, I kind of felt bad for old Barry. I kind of felt bad for him. Here, you not only are you a Madam President, the first African American, like there is no denying that Michelle Obama is black. Kamala, but Michelle Obama is a black woman, a black American woman, not up for debate. And you pulled those shenanigans. And now you couple that with all these sisters, all this DEI shit that's about to go. It's going. And, you know, black ran female mayors and all this cutting up, fighting, blowing money. See, let me tell you something. People call Trump a racist and all this. Trump is just he's course correcting. You see, we've been off course. We've been off course for years. You know, no land in sight. We just out there drifting in the wide open ocean of wokeness, confusion, and bullshit. But guess what, me mateys? There's land. There's land over there. We finally see land, and we can dock and get shit right. If it calls for a majority of white men to get this shit right, oh, the fuck well. Oh, well. You know, you got reports saying, yeah, we need competent white men in positions. Well, guess what? What built this country? Don't give me this shit where we know about we know about slavery. We know about a majority of America's GDP came from the South. What's understood don't need to be said. We know this shit. But who is directing this shit? Yeah, we were laborers. But who is orchestrating it? Who built the blueprints for America? Caucasian men, for the most part. Let's stop playing. And that's why I said about Trump, he said about, you know, it was kind of, you know, crass, but it was what it was. You know, a lot of these, when them planes went down up in there in D.C. with the Black Hawk and that commercial plane, to me, it wasn't far-fetched to think DEI. Not at all. Because I've seen it. I've seen people get put in position off the strength of their sex or ethnicity. Firsthand. No doubt about it. And I've been talking about this stuff for 10 years. I remember I did a video, When the Lights Go Out. Black ran cities. Well, white folks that said, okay, you want to be in charge? Here's the goddamn keys. I'm out. Here, you take over. You want it so bad? Here. And we've seen what has happened. I've been talking about black ran cities for years. DEI. I've been talking about this stuff for years. And I said a lot of these, they use these positions of power just as a money grab. They don't change nothing. Lavish trips. I told you about how a lot of sisters now, they want to, I like to travel. I'm like, what's up with all this travel shit? And I'm talking about I want to go to Greece and Spain and Costa Rica. What the fuck? You from the east side? You're from the east side of Indianapolis, and you like to do all this extravagant traveling and shit, but you ain't never been to the west side of your own city. Where you get all this? Where you get this bougie ass palate? And I know palate is. Where you get this bougie ass palate for exotic travel from? I know where it come from. It come from the internet. It come from social media. Wanting to stunt and flodge and show off with money you ain't got. And what happened? You come back home to eviction notices. I'm seeing this shit all on, On these reels, you got women talking about getting their shit repoed, and they, but yeah, because you tricked all your money off trying to travel and stunt for the gram, and now you ain't got nothing to show for it but pictures and videos. That's it. But yeah, and what's that got? Painless. What's that got to do with these illegals holding their nuts? It's because these sisters are the gatekeepers and are trying to be the. They're trying to be the bodyguards of these people. And what they do is they sabotage inadvertently or advertently any potential progress in the so-called black community. You are capping for a group of people that are literally taking over your so-called community. Where it was a black-owned business, now it's a goddamn carniceria or a Mercado. You talk all this, we need to keep money, inside the so-called black community. Well, you caping for people who are building, who aren't even legal here to build shit in said community. That don't make sense. You got the mayor of Chicago, and see, it's apparent now. I used to kind of kick the can, be like, ain't no damn way these people really caping and protecting and going and doing the most for these people. But when I heard that Chicago mayor, that brother, when I heard him say, hey, when somebody asked him about the sanctuary city and the crackdowns that are coming from the Trump administration, and this brother turned around and said some shit like, well, it's funny, you have some nerves. What about y'all that came to this country and took over their lands? When I heard him say that, I said, oh my Lord, it's over. That was, like I said earlier, I said, nah. But that was, if you don't believe that the Democratic Party had an agenda for LGBT and DEI and all this stuff and sanctuary, keeping people over here, that was a succinct example and all the concrete evidence one would need to like, oh yeah, it's obvious an agenda. It's an obvious agenda. And I've always said that a lot of these leaders in the so-called black community and in cahoots with their white, disingenuous liberal cohorts, they really want to prop up and maintain this type of lifestyle because they really like that. They like having access to he-she's and it be okay. Because they really closeted like that. They like that type of debauchery and heathenism. That's why. That's the only conclusion I can come to. They like that. They like the ability to have illegal immigrants over here so they can mess with little boys and young girls and know that if they go and report, they'll get their asses deported. Oh, we don't need to go down there and we don't need to go to TJ and get us some cheap chocha. We can just have it right here. I firmly believe that all this stuff comes out of lust and carnality of the flesh. Free, weird access to sex, weirdism, he-she's, femboys, and all that type of stuff. I really believe it. What other benefit is to have a lot of illegal people just running around here that are dangerous? Yeah, you can hold their ass hostage. Oh, you're gonna give me that butt? Oh no, senor. Oh yeah, you are. Oh, so, kid, what? Because I'll turn your ass in. I'll send your ass back down south. I mean, there's no other reason to go hard. And people say, well, who's going to... You got these white women on here talking this dumbass shit. Well, who's going to pick your vegetables? Who's going to redo your roof? Look, fool, when the deportee in chief, which what they used to call President Barack Obama, when he was sending their asses on back down south, nobody asked these questions then. Guess what? Jose was still building homes. Maria was still picking avocados. Shit was just running. Things were running smooth. You didn't have that type of rhetoric back then of who gonna do what. But it's easy to pick the low hanging fruit when you ain't got no rebuttal. You know, who's gonna do the lawn? Don't worry about it. How about that? But yeah, these Hispanics, they gotta hold their nuts. I'm indifferent. I'm indifferent, and I love the Trump's approach. So, do you support breaking up families? No. So, if the head of the household gets caught up in one of your policies and gets deported, then no, their asses can go with their daddy. they can go with their daddy. See, I said a lot of the so-called black community. See, when the black woman moves, that's when black men move, unfortunately. The painless, I don't play that shit in my life. I move when I want to move. Don't no woman rule me in that respect. And I say all that to say is, black women, y'all need to just sit the fuck down. Stop jumping up and taking bull. I told y'all on Hamburger Hill. Now, y'all on. See, a lot of black men would just be up there with you because your sister. We know what it is, but you are alone now. You alone, and you pulling these stunts. Caping for deportees and LGBT. That shit is over. And like I said, unfortunately, in our so-called community, black women are the first to jump up. Then the brothers, which is unfortunate. Only community that does that. Only community where the women running shit. Not with painless though. But generally speaking, in the so-called black community, we are the only ones that do that. And that's why, and other groups see that. And that's why, y'all need to sit, y'all need to be quiet. Y'all said y'all was going to be quiet. But see, I knew that was bullshit. Oh, we're unbothered. Let it burn. Well, be quiet about this shit. I thought you said I thought you're going to shut your mouth. People don't give a damn about you. Anyway, got all these damn Mexicans in Los Angeles, street taker. And see, and when I look at that, let me tell you something. I've said this, that the Hispanics that come over here, They do not want to assimilate into American life at all. They just want the luxury to live amongst themselves, or they want to congregate amongst themselves, which is fine, and wave their damn respective flags, and yeah. But that's the great thing about America, that you can do that. America is one of the only places where you can come over here, where you can leave your little punk ass country, come over here, talk shit about the very country that you didn't swam across high voluminous water, snake infested. You done swam on 1959 Pontiacs with wood planks across shark infested waters to get to the very country, then talk shit about the motherfuckers. America is the only place allowed to do that. You have the luxury of doing that. And Trump is saying, hold my beer. That's over. That's over. And it needs to be over. You want to go wave your goddamn Ecuadorian flag or El Salvadorian flag in El Salvador. They got I'm pretty sure you can find plenty of El Salvadorian flags in El Salvador. And that's what I said earlier in the parts of this video. You know, you don't get to come over here and talk shit about people who look like me, who built this country, per se, who have been around here before there was an America. Black America. I can trace my roots back to people here that was before the United States of America. So I am in a sense a foundation. I'm an FBA, and that term. If somebody asks, hey, you're an FBA? Yes. But all that other bullshit, I don't go around touting it. But for all intents and purposes, to illustrate a point, I am a FBA. But all that bragging shit, I don't agree with that. I don't like that. I don't even deal with that shit. But yeah, let them hold their nuts. All the fools in Los Angeles, like I said this a moment ago, talking all La Raza and all this bullshit, it's this gloating. I tell you, when I lived in Hawaii, I saw that a lot. But let me tell you something about Hawaii. The only thing that left a soft spot in my heart about them people over there, the Hawaiians, that is their land. They were overthrown. That is the land of their forefathers. So I get that. And they don't let you forget it. And I got tired of that shit. See, I lived in Hawaii so long, but eventually I got tired of that shit, because when you live in Hawaii, a lot of people want you to play second and third. They want you to be a second or third class citizen. Like, I'm supposed to walk around and agree with everything about Hawaii and the land. And I got tired of that shit. Like, hey, man, I respect it, but y'all asses, y'all lost. Y'all got overthrown. Now you got Jack in the Boxes over here. You got Burger King, McDonald's, Olive Garden, and TGI Fridays. Y'all fucking lost. Get the fuck over it. You know what I'm saying? So I got tired of hearing that shit and walking around like I gotta kiss Hawaiians' asses. But yeah, you in America talking that La Raza shit. That's why I say the black folks in California, let them Hispanics have that shit. Fuck California. And my older brother lives there, and I got a lot of family in California. I told y'all. But let them have that shit. Let them have that wildfires and all that bullshit. Let them have it. You know? So, but yeah, I'm hard pressed. I don't give a damn about them people getting deported and shit. It's like I have the same approach about people getting deported who come over here wrong. You already wrong. So what the fuck are we talking about? I have that same approach about them people over there in the Middle East. I'm indifferent. AKA, I could give a fuck. I don't give a damn about no Palestine and Israelites or Israelis fighting about some punk ass land. And they're going to be fighting after I'm dead. I don't give a shit about that. And I don't give a damn about people who come here and say, oh, you try to be so smart. Well, I'm just going to come over here, and guess what, baby? When we get over here, we can just have a child, and then we're good. We're anchored. Trump said, not for long. So when you try to be cunning and smart, and you know that, do that shit back home. Be cunning and smart back home. Don't try to come over here and be cunning and try to circumvent the laws. And Trump knows that. He said, no, I don't give a damn if you had a child here. You and your child can take your asses back to where y'all came from. And it's unfortunate, but see, it is what it is. See, you can't dangle no child in front of me and say, what about the children? You made that choice already as the parent. So if you don't give a fuck, why should I give a fuck? And you try to play on my heartstrings to circumvent and loophole or go around laws that have been established here. These are laws for us, not you. Who the fuck are you? You came over here illegally, and then you get, and speaking as a black man, then you get over here and you want to look down. And Trump is trying to protect you Negroes and you shines from yourselves. But all y'all see is downtroddenness, oppressive, always taking the underdog, you know. Trump is trying to save you fools. Because he knows. You think Trump is from Queens, USA, New York. He knows about the streets. I'm pretty sure he's up on brown and black relations. He's got to be. He's trying to save y'all, but y'all up here and cheat on, here come Orange Man and all that. And Jose is stabbing your punk ass and taking over your damn apartment buildings. But you worried about Trump. You know what I'm saying? Here you living by yourself, a single mama with 3 kids next door to a house full of Hispanics, and they're looking at you crazy, and you know, something happened between them kids and your kid, and the whole goddamn Guatemalan strike force is coming out, and here you are by yourself, no man in sight, talking shit. You in a disadvantage. Because they stick together. You don't. Here, your little child get to fighting with one of their little kids, and you go out there and try to check them, they're going to come and get on your ass. Keisha? So Trump is trying to save your punk ass. But you know what? That's all I got to say. Painless out.